Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Castlevania Lord of Shadows 2. Had to exit out again, and actually had to take an extra day of not playing because storms were happening.
I need to return to the city.
And
Zolbeck must have got something out of the scientist I can't
power
remember.
was going out in my house for an entire day. So we may be a little bit further back in the checkpoint than with what I'd want to be. So, well, we may have a cutscene here that we could skip. Yeah. Let's see. It is so blatantly obvious after thinking about it that this character and the idea of a shop was just forced into this game. This game makes no sense whatsoever to have shops and thus no need for a comedic relief shopkeeper. This was forced in by some upper management or CEO employee. Let's go ahead and skip the rest of this because they wanted microtransactions in some form or fashion. We'll buy the keys and like maybe it would make sense to buy the dodo eggs, but it might also just make a lot of sense to hold on to the rest of these things.
This is what you purchased so far, my prince.
Let's see. What does Seal of Alistar do? It's said that who carries the seal with the name will enable the master to guide his fist and leech perfection in the art of death dealing. So it's some kind of power up. Alright, so I'm just gonna buy these, and then we can't do anything with this until we have an arcane object. And go and skip this cutscene. I would have thought almost certainly there would have been a checkpoint in walk.
I should return to the city.
It also certainly feels like this is a example of them specifically making this game open world just to fulfill some idea that doesn't make sense. So yeah, I had collected this and that didn't save. I'd come over here and collected this with this edgy cut yourself some more stuff. It's really ridiculous. And so you find this object and it's made out like you should want to immediately run back into the shop and spend some more, which is just ridiculous. Here we have like a faceless statue. And so almost certainly this is the central hub and the idea of doing an open world, when the rest of this game is pretty linear. At least it is right now. Maybe we'll find that I am still, even though I am many hours in the gameplay, I'm still in the tutorial missions and still unlocking abilities. You would think we've beaten a boss in the real world and we've beaten a boss in the past, so the modern time in the past. You would think that we should be out of tutorial at this point. We'll unlock things in a Metroidvania sense. Wow, this is just like full black and white. There's so little saturation. Let's just make sure all of our magic is at the maximum. I guess it both are now. And we're not in Zobek's place. So we've just transitioned into... Well, geez, you're gonna animate these cars and they look pretty good and I can't break them. So I'm wondering if this is gonna have us walk out to a more open world section of the city. We're gonna have to get a little bit of understanding. This might be a door that leads somewhere. This almost certainly is a gate that we'll be able to transition through when we get an ability to dash through gates. Over here there's an elevator, so maybe that is an elevator that takes us to Zobek's location. So maybe these little car stops and these little sticks are a little too small to be focusing on to attack. If these were Zobek's cars, that would be even better to break. If I could break them, I would have even slightly more meaning. What we're not unlocking right now, though, is any indicator of a art pieces. So that seems to really have just been the first section of the area.
About their location, but the provisional number of victims makes us fear the worst for our colleagues. The green cloud is expanding over the city, transforming both the living and the dead.
Seems like the gas is coming out everywhere, which is so very early in the story. All humans are being eliminated for the most part from the modern time.
Informed that the governor's appearance has been cancelled and he's not answering calls from our newsroom. The worst thing, this is like nothing we've ever seen before.
So yeah, it'll be an open world game with basically no NPCs. Instead, it'll just be an open world game with a bunch of monsters that I assume we're gonna all have yellow vests on, even though the assumption is that a lot of the monsters that will be transformed by the gas are different. Now this character, this enemy, could have been Medusa easily.
Has she said anything yet?
Yes. To tell you the truth, she hasn't shut up.
Do you find me attractive, my prince?
I've tried reading her mind, but there is only chaos and fury there.
Because he's impotent.
Something is buried deep,
You both are.
but I'm unable to see it.
My dear Zobek. If only you could see what I see.
What I question is what her face,
She'll kill herself before we get anything out of her.
Very slow.
if her face originally looked like that, or if something
I
happened.
must be able to reach her.
Deciding against us, you scum.
Then let's give her back her humanity.
Oh, make me pretty again. Oh,
Yes,
please make
but
me
how?
pretty again.
This disease
So-
is manufactured. So they must
Was
have
the
made it
woman who was smoking
You are
a
so
monster
clever.
before the gas,
Clever, my
or just a
handsome
human that
prince.
got transformed by the gas?
It must have been created when developing the virus to protect those chosen to serve them. Judging by the look of you, sadly it would seem you're not one of the chosen, my dear.
No, my dear. Sadly, I am just one of Satan's whores.
I'll go back to the corporation. Look around. See what I can
Very
find.
well, but make your own way there. It's risky to open a portal. It's likely the acolytes are aware of her disappearance by now. I don't want to leave supernatural traces that could lead back to me.
For mercy, you pigs, you
So
disgust me.
he's not, Zobek's not even gonna teleport you.
Scum!
Which that's necessary so that we enter the facility from a different angle, I assume. So, what is this magical thing? Some kind of magical... And...
Pig son of a bitch!
There's no interaction ability with the B button.
Will be his slave forever, creature.
Yeah, I'm really uncertain as far as the story went in the previous cutscene. We just saw a human female who went crazy and broke all of the vials with the toxic gas, and then we saw the monster. And I was assuming she was a demon before that point and she was just hiding her appearance. It might be a case that that's not something that can be done. Here's an indicator almost certainly that Zobek's building could be turned upside down like the castle in Castlevania, but I imagine this is really just a reference, because if this building was turned upside down without more doors being open, that doesn't do anything at all. And I suspect wandering down this way, well, there's just a door blocking this section right now, so yeah. So these kind of doors at the very least are going to be blocking things. Really doesn't feel very open world. But also I would say that the map system and the breadcrumbing system isn't very good, so the fact that it's not open world is probably a good thing. Oh, so the demons get to destroy the cars, but I don't. So, it seems like a lot of cars moved around for the 5 seconds that I was missing. And because I know that this game has transactions in it, I guess you wouldn't really call them microtransactions. It has DLC specifically designed to make it so now artwork is unlocking. Interesting. It has those transactions built in the form of DLC, so that means that most people playing the game, unless you play extremely thoroughly, will not be successful at unlocking everything. And even if you do play extremely thoroughly, there's no guarantee that you can actually unlock everything. Let's see, let's try our Chaos Fists. No, I don't think that works very good. These guys are stronger. It has been a while since I've last played, but these guys also are striking me as rather strong. So I don't know if we're gonna run into, like, I'm having trouble activating the kill animations, and so it's now just easier to attack normally. Here's a body that we can't do anything about. There's a fire here. Or something. Maybe this is just straight going to be a case of you're supposed to crawl through here. So that doesn't do anything. That doesn't do anything. Ah, the bomb. I'd forgotten about the bomb.
The flames don't go out entirely. I must do something else to extinguish them.
So that did something. And bomb's not working, and that's not working. And blood vial throws are not working. So did I just fix a hole in the pipe? I guess that's what I did. This is a cool concept, but I doubt it's a concept that will get used very often, and if it got used a lot, it would be annoying. I assume also that there's kind of a rush. So that they wouldn't want you to stick around because the ice will melt, and an elevator just basically opens out into the street. That's a way too fancy elevator for what that was. So planes are crashing out of the sky, so the smoke, the poison seems to be pretty high and pretty dispersed. Although it also seems like there's not 100% conversion happening. It's kind of hard to get your motivation here, though, because you're Dracula. What do you care if monsters are killing humans? And you can't help but imagine with this time mechanic that's happening that in the end of this fight, everything is going to be undone in the past, and because everything is going to be undone in the past, we may very well not ever see it. Well, we're never going to see any more of these games anyways, but even if we were going to see more of these games, I imagine everything will be undone and we'd go back to a past time frame and never see the world continue to be like it is here. Because Castlevania as a series does not really make sense. You get away from the castle part of Castlevania as you go further into a future. I assume this is kind of Zobek's castle here, and this frankly looks like we are going to defeat a whole bunch of levels, and then a laser is going to come from each of those levels and power each one of these stones and shoot it all the way up. But I bet that is way too ambitious for what this game really does. Like the idea that there would be 8 separate dungeons in this overworld seems questionable. How am I supposed to get over there? Let's see, is there you don't have a lot of flexibility. You have a lot of invisible walls. So there's some way to get to this, but it's not just going to be smashing the wall or anything. Maybe I find a way this way. Yes, so when I can dash through iron gates, I'll be able to collect a collectible there. Over here, we've got something that we can look at. And anywhere and everywhere I can go will be slightly appreciated. Am I supposed to be going this way though? I suppose we might as well try. Take a look. If I jump down here, I'm not sure I'm coming back up though. So I may have chosen a path that's the wrong path. Well, I'll be darned if that does not look like part of my castle in the present day. So yeah, this looks like there's ways into the underground part of the city, and by getting into the underground parts of the city, you're getting into Dracula's castle. And see, that's just kind of a loop. So we'll probably need to remember that and come back later. Now, it's a lot of work to kill these guys. Like, there's a lot of hitting going on, particularly when I remember that I'm playing this on the easiest mode, and these aren't really the guys that I would expect to, yeah, these aren't the guys I would expect to have that have to use magic on. It totally feels like there should be abilities I should get where drinking blood refills my magic. And I'm just kind of filling up my inventory, so buying things at the shop should be a minimal action. I shouldn't do it too often. I'm trying to see if these lampposts break. I guess they don't. There's a lot here. What's weird is apparently the city has hugely deep gutters, and there's nothing on top of that building on Zobak's palace. Like, seems like this is a really tall city by its construction. What was this? SEH something EP. Joseph? JOSEP? EP? No, that wouldn't be Joseph. There's like light coming in from under that gutter. That's nothing. That looks like that might be a door, but it's probably not. It's questionable how much of this there is in the game. Yeah. And it's weird it's taking taking more effort than I think it probably should to break some of the railing and such. So up here, and then up here, and we've got another pain box. What I desperately need is something that would reduce the consumption of the magic more than expand the maximum total amount of magic. Interesting, my feet are glitching through here. I don't think that there's actually anything up there, and I was just stuck in the corner. This game screams to me a wonky physics engine. Maybe it's just an older game, or maybe it was using an internal Konami engine. So what am I supposed to be doing? Like, it says, oh, I guess I'm supposed to be going inside this, whatever this was. Books, it says? How would that be a bookshop? Seems like it's a non-English speaker just put a random assortment of letters. Unless that was a name or something. This looks like rats could crawl in through there if I can find some rats. We can hear the bats on the outside. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually turns into a store with... There's some bats that way. I wouldn't be surprised if this turns into a store for that troll. But then, how could the troll move from one location to the next? Alright, so rats can't jump, so all it would be able to do is go through this one. And then it takes you downward, so you can't go back. So I guess it was probably just giving you a somewhat circular pathway. So yeah, I guess if I wanted to go back somewhere around here is probably another rat hole that you can go through. And you jump down, and then you go up here, and then you go through here, and just make a full loop that direction. And the camera decides to freak out every single time we do this. I thought there might be some XP or something in there, but apparently not. So then the next thing is just to come over here and restore your appearance. A modern game would not require you to go to a specific spot to transform. That's something you would only do in an older game because it would have caused problems, or it would have just been too resource expensive to allow me to simply have a button that would transform me into a rat at any point. And in all fairness, having the ability to transform into a rat might cause a lot of problems, because you'd be such a smaller character in some areas, like right here. There might be a way to glitch through the walls and cheat the game. Not that most game developers care about those kind of tactics, because if you're glitching through walls, you're usually speedrunning the game or something anyways, and you're not experiencing the game for the first time or in the way that it's intended, and speedrunners know that. So we got some more city memorial stuff. Let's see. And some more stuff we can move to being marked off. We really didn't accomplish anything in this 30 minutes though. We just saw a bunch of cutscenes and walked from outside of Zobek's palace into an alleyway, and I guess maybe map room at some point will be an indicator of a place where we get full maps. That would be interesting and probably helpful. And a lot of these are things that we could have bought in the store, and we chose not to this time, so we have more currency in the store, which I think I'm gonna try and save it up to get upgrades or something else. Now experience wise, we kind of have everything, so let's, maybe that's why it was so difficult to fight things. So see if we can possibly the Y attack here. I kind of suspect I can only really purchase this or use the Y attacks when we start fighting really big things, but we have run into enough big things surrounded by a collection of small enemies. Yeah, so the Y attack shouldn't be completely neglected. I only have so much skill points. Mark all of these as red, and hopefully that will save next time. If we come back in here and see that a lot of these upgrades are not saved, and it's just telling me that you can buy these again or these are available, then I'll just have to assume the game is a little broken there. Well, it's been 30 minutes. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.